want to get into some of our civic duties. I feel like our country has been soft on drugs, and that's part of the reason why our crime rate has been going out of control. Obviously, there's been the heavy immigration that's been going on, that's attributed to the crime rate. Look out for the interview that I played in the beginning of the stream with Puck Daddy, aka Joe Andajar. But I have seen something on Real Toronto News' Instagram where they were talking to a policeman over here. They're having like a conference or okay, so I'll read the caption. It says Toronto Police Association President Clayton Campbell says officers witness open drug use daily, but often refrain from laying charges because they expect little follow-up from federal prosecutors. Okay, so just to give you guys a little bit of context, it's more about the court system than it is the cops. Everybody still has to be held accountable, obviously, when it comes to bringing down the crime, and the drug addicts and drug dealers too. But these guys are like, we can't even do anything when it comes to these drug addicts and stuff like that. If we lock them up, the courts will let them out.
Question again and get you to repeat it. So when your officers come across open drug use in public, what are they doing and why?
Yeah, a lot of the times, my mic's on now, a lot of the times they're just seizing it for distraction. They may not go down the road of actually laying a charge. If it was, you'd see it withdrawn. If it's a resource issue with the federal prosecutors, I don't know, but that's generally what happens in the city right now.
And these drug charges, just for those unaware, these are federal prosecutors, the Federal Public Prosecution Service of Canada that's responsible for that.
Yeah, if you want to go again for a ride along, you can come down into 51 Division, which is down at Regent Park, and you can see open drug use every day right in front of you.
I'll ask the...
So I actually have a longer version of this video here, and let me pull this up here. Because the whole conference, they ask about a few more things besides the drug consumption, and I'll play the longer clip of the drug consumption itself. Big salute to McNasty in the building. Let me pull up the full video here, because they also talked about the gun buyback. They talked about a few other things.
Thank you very much. So the Liberal Bill C-75, which enshrined in the criminal code the so-called principle of restraint, that offenders have to be released at the earliest opportunity under the least onerous conditions.
I played this part over like 5 times because I wanted to know what the hell does that mean?
To actually track these bad guys.
Thank you very much. So the Liberal...
So let me bring it back here. Let me play
Bill C-75, which enshrined in the criminal code the so-called principle of restraint, that offenders have to be released at the earliest opportunity under the least onerous conditions.
So the principle of restraint, offenders have to be released under the say that shit again, nigga.
The so-called principle of restraint, that offenders have to be released at the earliest opportunity under the least onerous conditions.
At the earliest opportunity under the least onerous conditions. I'm not mad at that if I'm on the other side of that coin, right? Like if I'm the criminal, like, yes, let me out as soon as possible, whatever. But let me out on bail so I can go and do this shit while I'm on bail, do something again, reoffend while on bail again. Because even, for example, the youth that got arrested the other day, how old is he? 15 years old. That kid was on probation. A lot of people are on probation and they're out here still catching charges. I was on probation and I still caught a charge. So like back in the days, like 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it happens.
To effect a little over 6 years ago, that bill was passed. How soon after that, Mr. Stamatakis, did you start to see the effects of increased bail on less onerous conditions?
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I mean, this was an issue already, and I think the effects arguably were felt immediately, almost immediately, because for all the reasons that we've described, and I don't want to repeat them, but we do what I would say is we need almost like a bifurcated system where I actually don't have an issue with the principle of restraint or the concept in C-75 when it comes to, a first-time offender with no history. But what we need to do is we need to find a way to treat the violent repeat offender differently.
For sure, but you're saying you.
Agreed. Whoa. Did I just agree with the police? Because he said you got to find a way of treating the violent repeat offender differently. Am I so off with that? Like if somebody's out here shooting at people all the time, should he just be let out on bail to just go outside and go get your gun and go shoot somebody else? Go back, go find the ops? Let me see what y'all are saying, because I feel like we have, and I don't know if it's a conservative or liberal type of thing when it comes to like what you guys feel about this, but I feel like we have a pretty conservative leaning or thinking type audience. So I asked, does Canada need 3 strikes? 71% of y'all say yes. So don't think I'm so off when I because I feel those are quote unquote conservative beliefs. No, we don't need 3 strikes. We need bail reform. Right? I'm more on we need 3 strikes, but I'm heavy-handed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep on saying, Friday for mayor, nah. You don't want me in office, bro. I'll be locking up a lot of people, bro.
You can draw a direct line from that provision to these bail problems on the streets that your officers have to deal with.
Well, I think it's a little more complicated than that, because we also have an underlying problem in this country with drug addiction, substance abuse.
Talk about it.
We have a huge problem in this country with a lack of support for people suffering from mental health issues. But in my view, anecdotally, based on feedback from members, experiences that I've had in my own community where I live, there's a correlation.
I'll ask you, Mr. Campbell, on that drug question. When your officers encounter someone who's using drugs in public,
So this is from the original clip that I played.
You're laying a charge. What are federal prosecutors doing with those charges on simple possession?
Who's laying a charge for simple possession?
So let me ask you, what do your officers do in a case like that?
Look at the look on his face. He's like, who? Me? My officers? Are you stupid? You think I'm going to get these guys to go chase somebody because they got some drugs on them? Are they actually the dealer? Dummy. These guys don't even stop speeders anymore. They got the speed traps and shit now.
Who's laying a charge?
Who?
For simple possession.
Look at the man's face. It's like, you're a fool, Brethren.
So let me ask you, what do your officers do in a case like that, and why?
Most of the time, they're not doing anything. They move on to something
Sir,
else.
your mic was off. I'll ask the question again.
Run it
and get you to
again.
Repeat it. So when your officers come across open drug use in public, what are they doing and why?
Yeah, a lot of the times, my mic's on now, a lot of the times they're just seizing it for destruction. They may not go down the road of actually laying a charge. If it was, you'd see it withdrawn. If it's a resource issue with the federal prosecutors, I don't know, but that's generally what happens in the city right now.
And these drug charges.
So do they need to lock these guys up? Right? Because simple possession just clogs up the system. Right? So I do get that.
Just for the.
Hold on. Let me ask you guys. One in the chat. Do they need to start locking people up for simple possession? Or, so one, if they need to lock people up for simple possession. 2, if it's like, if the man has some crack on him, couple of, a little half quarter of Fenty, that ain't nothing. Let him go, fam. He's not the dealer. 2 in the chat, let them go. Right? But 1 in the chat, it's like, you got to lock. Oh, you got some drugs on you? Lock that guy up too. All right? Maybe I should have put that in the poll, because y'all might not want to put yourself out there. Want everybody to just get locked up for everything. Niggas just tired of everything. Like, just what you got on you? What is that? A half gram? Lock him up. Get him out of here.
those unaware, these are federal prosecutors, the Federal Public Prosecution Service of Canada that's responsible for that.
Yeah, if you want to go again for a ride along, you can come down into 51 Division, which is down at Regent Park, and you can see open drug use every day right in front of you.
Talk about it. I'm remembering. You guys are. Holy shit, man. You gotta lock them up. What is that? That's what's that? Some reefer? No, I'm playing. Not the reefer. It's legal now. But you know, what is that? Cocaine? Get him out of here.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come take a look at it.
So we've been talking about bail, but we're not.
You can see open.
Like I said, come to the Regent Park, bro. See
Service of Canada that's responsible for that.
Yeah, if you want to go again for a ride along, you can come down into 51 Division, which is down at Regent Park, and you can see open drug use every day right in front of you. If anybody wants to come take a look at it.
So we've been talking about bail, but we're not even at the bail stage here because the federal prosecutors are deciding to not enforce the law effectively, to not apply the law.
I wouldn't want to guess on that. I can definitely get back to you with more information. I'm not sure if any of my friends would have more information on that.
I ain't trying to throw the federal prosecutors under the bus. Translation.
Enforce the law effectively, to not apply the law.
I wouldn't want to.
Hold on, let me get the question again. Because that's this crazy translation right there. Translation, I ain't throwing them under the bus, but they might want to do it.
Day right in front of you. If anybody wants to come take a look at it.
So we've been talking about bail, but we're not even at the bail stage here because the federal prosecutors are deciding to not enforce the law effectively, to not apply the law.
I wouldn't want to guess on that. I can definitely get back to you with more information. I'm not sure if any of my friends would have more information on that.
I don't know.
I can say that was the case when I started my career over 20 years ago. The simple possession, Tom
Sorry, that was the bus. Boop, boop, boop.
says it jokingly, but yes, you know, in the lower mainland of Vancouver, we did not arrest for simple possession in Vancouver, and that's 20 years of experience there.
All of you have spoken to some degree about officers arresting people, rearresting them days, sometimes hours later. When an officer makes an arrest, my understanding is there's a risk. There's a legal risk, there's a physical risk that could go sideways. And I have heard anecdotally, but I was hoping you could shed some light on it, one of you, from officers, that there's a temptation to not expose yourself to that risk when you know that they're going to be out on bail and it will all be for nothing. So how does that affect morale of officers when they're seeing these people that they know on a first name basis on the street, regardless of having been arrested for a very serious offense?
Yeah, I can
3 strikes.
say it impacts morale greatly. Our members in Toronto are doing their part, and they literally are risking their lives. We've seen a few years ago, we had 8 police officers. I think.
You know what's crazy? And I'm just gonna put this out there for y'all. All right. You guys might be a little bit agreeing with the boy them. You might be agreeing with the police today. We're at this point in time, and violent crime has gone up so high, and people are just so over the fuckery that we're over here agreeing with police. That's kind of crazy, right? But points are being made.
I can say it impacts morale greatly. Our members in Toronto are doing their part, and they literally are risking their lives. We've seen a few years ago, we had 8 police officers, I think I'm right, Tom, killed in the line of duty in Canada. They're risking their lives to make these arrests. I'm proud of them because they still go out there every day and do their job because they care about their communities. They care about victims, but it's tough. It definitely impacts morale when you do say our gang unit does a complicated investigation, takes a long time, lots of work, lots of resources, only to see those gang members back out of custody in a matter of days.
We have
Bump, 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 bump. Right? I kind of ain't mad at him. I know a lot of people be like, fuck the police, but bro, why would you even want to arrest niggas, or not niggas, just people, period, all right? Why would you even want to arrest people? You do a huge bust. You get a whole bunch of people from an organized crime faction, months of investigation, wiretaps, undercovers, all types of shit. They go crazy. All right, we're going to clean this shit up. right? No matter how much there is corruption in the police units and stuff like that, because there's obviously corruption in the police forces. But why put in all those resources when as soon as you lock these guys up, the system's just going to let them out? You know what I'm saying? You get the big bosses, they're going to have good lawyers, so they're out immediately on bail. You know what I'm saying? And the soldiers, they're coming out just now. There's videos that I'm watching, or news reports that I'm watching about youth crime going up because they're hiring, and this has been going on forever, but the youth crime is going up because organized crime is going up. And of course, they're going to hire the youth them to go and go crash out.
Some emerging research in Canada recently, and Quebec's sort of leading the way, where it's more troubling than that. It's not only demoralizing, but we're creating an environment where police officers are disengaging. They're not taking those risks. They're not being proactive.
Yo, somebody can get the shit kicked out of, and I think that's happened the other day. Somebody can get beat up, and the boy them are not gonna even arrest them, bro. They're just gonna wait for you guys to finish kicking the shit out of each other. There was a video I was watching that these guys, some YNs, were fighting in front of a police car. I can't show it on the screen, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, this video was going viral of maybe about 4 to 6 YNs fighting with each other, and they're almost bumping on, probably putting dents in the police car to try to get at each other. They didn't care.
Active in intervening when they could be, because of the futility of it. It's creating a lot of challenges in our sector, from a wellness, mental health, moral.
Sorry to stop it. The man said the futility. It's futile. Like, it's not. Why even bother to lock these guys up, bro? It's futile. Like, the court system is just gonna let them out in like one day.
Jury perspective.
Mr. Lawton, time.
Thank you.
Yeah, time. Yeah, it's fucked up out here, man. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if what y'all are saying as far as the poll here. Before I get off of this topic, I asked, does Canada need 3 strikes? 79% of y'all are saying yes. Actually, it went up to 80 at one point. Okay, it went back down. So 75% it says right now is saying yes. 25% is saying no. I feel like a lot of people are just like, bro, y'all are getting nothing done with the way that the system is right now. So maybe we might need to try something new, because from what I'm seeing from this video here, the police are losing morale. They don't even care to lock people up anymore. So it is what it is. All right. I don't have anybody to salute here, because I'm not going to salute the police. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is what it is. Thoughts and prayers. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen, and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.